Today I'm going to be filming my video on Taurus Moon. So, number one for Taurus Moons is that familiarity is super important. They like what they know and they don't like change so much. And getting them to change, it's a slow process for them. They're very strong-willed, so when they're going for what they want, they go at it steady. That's also a very important quality about Taurus, is that they're very steady people. So they go at it with slow persistence till they get there. Now, along with that, these people are ruled by Venus, and they are fixed signs. So changing their opinions, their routines, isn't going to be easy since they're fixed. And because they are ruled by Venus, these are very romantic people. Their affections run deep. And you know when a Taurus cares about you because they share with you. Taurus isn't very good with sharing like a lot of their things with people because they can be very possessive of their material items or of their partner or whoever. But you know they care about you when they share with you and when they buy you things that are something that you would like, something useful. These are very practical people, so they stick to what they know, kind of, and what you would like. Taurus moons tend to stray away and avoid messy confrontations and situations since they don't want to get into all that, because generally these are very calm people, and although they are calm, they have this temper that's underneath. It kind of takes a while for it to build up. Like, they can take a lot of stress. They can take a lot of other people's like problems or other people's angriness and like just hatred or whatever it is that they're dealing with. They can take that, but once they explode with their anger, they explode and they get very mad. And they don't let go very easily. These are people that can hold a grudge and they hold on to anything, whether it be material or a person or something. They like the routine and they like what they know. So letting go isn't the best thing for them. For the most part, these people have naturally good, reliable instincts. Because they're good with protection, so they don't get into anything. They don't get into anything that's going to like cause a messy situation. You know what I mean? They have reliable instincts of what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and what I'm comfortable with. Um, these are people that like finer things. They like the higher quality item. They like the more expensive one, the thing with more intricate details, something that's nicer, because these people are all about the five senses. So whether it appeals to their sight, their touch, their hearing, their taste, anything that they really enjoy, they will most likely buy, and they don't mind spending more money on it if it's for better quality and they know that they'll enjoy it. Now, with money, Tauruses are naturally good at kind of manifesting or working hard because they are strong-willed. They will work hard for their money. And they can be very good at money management, but because they also have expensive taste, once they start shopping, they might not be able to stop, or they might like to shop a lot. It's like something they do, but they know how to budget their money when it comes down to it. These are people that love home, they love food, they love alone time, they like just chilling, stuff like that. Simple things are what a Taurus moon would like. These aren't very complex individuals with many things going on at once, with different sides to them. No, they're very like, they can be stick in the mud sometimes, but if you know a Taurus moon, they have this calming energy to them, which is very comforting for other people. And that's why they're very reliable people, in my opinion, because if you're friends with a Taurus moon or any Earth moon, they're very reliable and they're always going to be there for you, especially if you mean a lot to them. Because if you mean a lot to them, they'll most likely show you, and you'll definitely know. Another thing. So when it comes to dealing with their emotions, now these are practical people. I would say that out of all the earth signs, they're the least practical, especially when it comes to romance and all of that, because I feel like Virgo's more analytical, Capricorn's more blunt about it and dry, and while a Taurus is more about love and all of romance and all of that. So they can be the least practical out of all of them. But that's okay. And what was I saying? They like to collect. I think I said that already, but when it comes to dealing with their emotions, they are practical, yes. So when something's bothering them or their feelings are hurt, now these are actually quite sensitive people. Like, they don't mean to hurt anybody else's feelings, so when their feelings are hurt, it can really get them down. Now, the way a Taurus might deal with it, it's like, yeah, it can come out in anger because they've been holding on to what's making them angry for so long that they finally explode. But if it's sadness, yeah, they might explode and confuse it with anger, but they also might go into solitude for a little bit, like hang out in their room for a day, probably just sleep, probably like take shower, like a warm shower or something, eat some nice food, just recoup their energy, because these are people that are with the five senses. So simple things make them happy. So like just chilling and laying down and just taking your time to really deal with your feelings is the best way for a Taurus moon to really let go of any negative emotions. And they find comfort in material things. They're very stubborn. One thing when Tauruses are in relationships is that they may be so comfortable. That's a reason why Tauruses stay in bad situations. It's because they like what they know. So if you have option A right here, but you have option A is over here and you have option B. Option B may be the worst option, but because it's what the Taurus moon knows, they're not going to step out into the water that is unknown territory. They might just stick with what they know, which can lead them into toxic situations. Maybe they don't feel good about themselves anymore. Maybe they're hurt and they can't fix it because they're so resistant to change at times that they can be really stuck in the mud on their problem. And now because they don't like to change their situation, then once they're comfortable, seeing the other person's side of the story and seeing their needs may be quite difficult for a Taurus because they don't notice their partner's need to change because they don't like to change. So they don't understand why you want to change or why you want to grow in your relationship. Like, I'm fine where I am. I don't want to go over there. Why do you want to go over there? Like, that's just maybe how a Taurus moon would act. But when it comes down to it, these people will consider it. They can be open-minded, but at the same time, they can be very closed-minded on their opinions. Like, it may not be able to change them, but they'll listen to you or something. They may not agree though, and don't expect them to change overnight because that won't happen. Definitely planning things out, Taurus moon. If you're a Taurus moon and you're watching this, definitely planning things out and going at anything that you want slow and steady is the best. It's going to be the best result that you can get. When you go and take your time on things with practical, realistic goals, you will get what you want and you'll be happier. Because I feel like once you jump into the water head first without taking your time and feeling things out and moving on, and if you're a Taurus moon and you don't move on very quickly, don't let that tear you down. Take your time to heal and then move on. This is how you work. This is your natural instinct. It's not going to change. And unless you really try to change that, you want to move on quicker, you want to let go of things quicker, then definitely go for it. But don't get stuck in the mud because you're not over something yet. You need time to heal. And so take that time so that you are fully 100% yourself and that you are fully 100% recovered from anything. Now, these make really good friends, these people, because, yeah, they're always there for you, but they remember the things that you like and the things that bring you comfort. So even if you're a Gemini moon and your friend's a Taurus moon, even though you don't really care about comfort, the Taurus moon sees what makes you happy and they try to comfort you. And you'll notice it. You'll be like, wow, Like, they really care, and Taurus moons do care about you, and they care about their loved ones, and they're very protective over their loved ones, and they're very protective over themselves and danger and all of that. They really take caution, you know? So with the five senses again, because Taurus rules, Taurus is all about the five senses. I believe they rule the throat. So these people have like, they can be naturally good at singing. They could be naturally like have a pretty speech, you know, or they could have a lot of problems with their throat, whether it be like sore throats all the time, raspiness, anything like that really. That would pertain to a Taurus moon. And the five senses that that they have, their senses are more heightened than the average other moon sign, you know? So like these people have a good sense of like smell. They have a good sense of smell. So like if you smell good, they'll notice it, and they'll most likely be the first to notice if a room smells gross or if it smells good or anything like that. These people like good tasting food, and not just like any food that has flavor, food that like opens their mind, because the senses kind of like help them be more in touch with themselves. Considering that the moon is exalted in Taurus, this is where the moon likes to be. This is where the moon shines kind of the brightest. Even though the moon is at home in Cancer, there's a very calming serenity that you get when your moon is in Taurus. And I think that's a really good thing. So that was it for my video on Taurus moon. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one, which will be Gemini moon. Bye.